It's sweeter all the time. And welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Luvcoach show here. This is going to be a very exciting show. It's going to be a fun show because I'm going to have some information for all of you daters, all of you open-hearted people, folks that are in relationships that want to learn how to brighten that relationship, to make it more interesting, to make it maybe sexier. And I have an expert online with me, Victoria Babun. I want to welcome you so much for coming on to the Luvcoach show here. Welcome to the show, and thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much, Bruce. This is an absolute pleasure to be on your show. So I'm looking forward to talking with you a little bit about what we can offer to all those couples out there.
Great. You know what, Victoria, you have such an unusual and unique business that you've been working on quite a bit. Tell us a little bit about you and how your company, Cupid Dates, have just came about.
Sure. Basically, I have been working on this idea for over 8 years. It was never actually supposed to be a business, but I did see a need actually in my own parents' relationship with their busy life. You know, they both work very hard, and they've been married for 43 years at this moment, which is great. But as a lot of married couples out there know, a real relationship means work. And one of the issues that they were having was just having that time, making that time to spend together and making it quality time. Because at the end of the day, people want a playmate, but you need time to plan to be able to play. With all these double income marriages, especially these days, I'm running into more and more couples that are running into that issue, including myself. Been there as well, where just don't have that time to plan something extra special. It takes a lot. And anyhow, I had decided that I was going to plan a date for them. It was a random Saturday. They gave me a month in advance when they both had time in their schedule. And I knew my parents, of course, very well, and I knew what they would like. And I had designed a series of 3 different dates in one for them, and basically had them go on these series of dates. They didn't really know actually what they were doing, but they trusted me. And basically they ended up having the time of their lives. And after that, I had realized, you know what? I'm an event planner. This is what I went to school for. My last 10 years working in the business world has all been, around hospitality and planning events. And when you think about it, planning a date for a couple is a special event for 2 people. So I saw this need here in society and basically have just used that, and now I'm starting to plan these dates on a much grander scale for couples, and it's been hugely successful. So far, there's a lot of interest out there, and I'm finding that couples are feeling revived. If that spark was kind of missing or had kind of gone to the wayside, they're feeling as though it's been reignited. And you can also be madly in love and not necessarily feeling like you need an additional spark in your relationship. However, you just may not have the time to plan everything, or you may not be an expert in your city and know everything that's going on that is fantastic and fun, and the little places around the corner that you and your significant other would absolutely love together. So working on how do I do that for a couple versus that I don't know, Jack and Jill, let's say, versus planning it for your parents, that was what I've been working on for a while. We had put together what is the Bow and Arrow questionnaire, and it's 15 questions that help us to understand who you are, what your prerogatives are, even all the way down to the details of what kind of music you listen to. Are you claustrophobic? All those types of things. And you just take some time to fill that out individually, and then we look at your answers, we match them up, and then that is how we design the date for you guys, and that's how we can guarantee that you're both going to have an amazing time together.
You know, that sounds so interesting. It is so different. You and I both know from the work that you do and the work I do that it's not the easiest thing in the world to get the word out about good services, about relationship coaching, about dating services, the good ones. And you have started something here mostly for couples. And you've created such an important, necessary tool because, as you said, couples have a way of getting lost in their parenting, in schooling, in their jobs, and they kind of forget why they may have gotten married. They forgot about how exciting it was to be on dates, and you are creating very exciting dates.
Yes, I'm glad that you are excited about it too, because it is. It's a lot of fun, and unfortunately you see a lot of relationships that fail, and you ask yourself, I wonder what happened to that couple. They're amazing together. They appeared happy together. And what I'm seeing is that I think it's just the pressure that everyone is feeling with exactly what you're saying, all these responsibilities. We're all adults that still want to play and have fun, and it's hard honoring that when you've got all these responsibilities, and unfortunately when it comes to your playtime with your significant other, it doesn't really get that much attention. So I'm trying to maximize that time that you guys are going to spend together and make it top-notch, make it quality. There won't be moments where, you kind of have to think of anything because we're taking care of that for you, all the way down to the details of what you're doing on your date, but also making sure that we're sending you to top-notch entities, that's who we work with, that mirror our white glove service approach, that will give you that extra attention, and they'll know that you're coming. They'll greet you by your name. These are the details that are very important when it comes to customer service. We work with a lot of different vendors, whether they're five-star restaurants or high-end hotels or the best activities that you can do in your city. We work with them and put together special little romantic packages at their establishment and then mix that into the date. So a lot of the work has been done for you. So we try to make it as convenient as possible as well. But that's not all that we do. That is our claim to fame is the luxurious dates, but we also have Cupid's Counsel. And Cupid's Counsel is a group of relationship experts that can offer their advice that will help you along the way. We can make sure you have a good time on your date, but what about keeping that fire burning afterward? Provide exclusive articles from a group of 3 professional relationship experts that work with us, that each come from a different background with their own forte, and they're going to be offering free advice as far as 5 relationship tips a month from their standpoint that you can tap into on our website or in our Facebook page, and eventually our newsletter. But also, if you love what you're hearing and you would like to learn a little bit more about this therapist, you can check out their biographies, and you can even request an appointment with them right then and there. And you don't have to be local to have an appointment with them. You can Skype with them. You can talk with them over the phone. And that's also proving to be very successful as well.
Tell us how we can get in touch with you to be able to use your services.
Okay, wonderful. Well, you can always give us a ring over the telephone, and there are 2 numbers. I'm going to give you a local phone number if you are in Miami, which is where we are headquartered. It's 305-751-9777. Toll free is 877-70-CUPID, CUPID. You can also visit our website at www.cupiddates, that's CUPIDDATES.net. And then also we're very active on Facebook and Twitter. And so you would just go to facebook.com, Cupid Dates Inc., INC. And then the same for Twitter, twitter.com/Cupid Dates Inc.
And Victoria, I also know that you have a tremendous number of people supporting you all around the country, perhaps even all around the world. You've got some top people in your corner, and I would like you to introduce one of those people right now.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Well, Joe Whitcomb is amazing, and he is a very well-experienced marriage and family therapist based in California. And he has taken his 20 years as a relationship coach and as a marriage counselor for an additional 6 years. And he has taken that and he is ready to share his experiences with all of you. And he's on the phone now, and he really hones in on getting to the heart of the matter, focusing on opening your heart. And his areas of expertise deal with couples therapy and relationship issues in your marriage. Also amazing with premarital counseling, which is huge, very important, and I think a little underrated these days. And many other issues that you can actually check out on our website or on his website to learn a little more. So I'll say welcome, Joe. Thank you for being here.
Welcome, yes. Joe. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. And I've also invited a good friend of mine, Savannah Ellis, who's a relationship coach, to kind of chime in from a female perspective. But one of the things that Victoria's been able to successfully do is really tap into and engage couples into the world of recreational companionship and really meet very core needs around needs for love and connection, belonging, bringing more of that spontaneity, playfulness, more of those type of things into relationships. And the other thing that's been very helpful, and I think that she really is not just a service industry, but also meeting specific core needs. A lot of the research out there today, social psychologists, relationship psychologists, is that there is a huge loss of social capital in relationship, a loss of connection, a loss of relationship, and more people over the last 100 years have really created a lot of problems with just being able to connect at a heartfelt level, and this really meets a very specific need in our relationships today. And because there are so many competing attachments, when we talk about attachments or we talk about relationships, work with children, that really begins to tear apart the relationship bond, and Cupid Dates has done a great job at really addressing some of the needs. For instance, love maps is one of the things we talk about with couples to really rediscover what their love map is. And that love map is really part of the brain that really connects to each other's needs, wants, dreams, desires. And we have all that going into relationship, and we have the recreational companionship, and we have those connecting points. But somehow along the way, through different stressors, through different life challenges, through having kids, all these things begin to diminish over time and creates very unique problems in relationship. And so being able to address something like that through Cupid Dates really, again, engages couples back into their dating life, into their dating experiences, because without that, I think there's a huge threat for all sorts of problems. Infidelity, which Savannah is an expert in as an infidelity coach, and she can chime in and contribute her thoughts to that. But there's all sorts of things that go on in marriage, especially around recreational companionship, that Cupid Dates is able to address.
Well, that's great, Joe. Let's do this. Let's take a break just for a couple of minutes, and then when we come back, we'll invite Savannah onto the show and continue our discussion with Victoria. You are listening to the Luvcoach show. My name is Bruce Starr. Please don't go away. We will be right back.
You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio Channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.
Okay, and welcome back to the show, everybody. Hey, Victoria, I'd like you to interview Savannah, if that's okay. Savannah's also on the line. Welcome to the show, Savannah.
Thanks, Bruce. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Joe.
Hi there. Great to hear you.
Hey, Savannah.
Yes, Savannah. Savannah is an amazing therapist and has a special niche, which I think is incredible for anyone out there that if you've dealt with any issues with infidelity, if you're toying with, an idea because perhaps, you're thinking that the grass is greener, cheaters, unfaithful partners, sometimes you just need some good advice to help you get on track or to figure out what you do from here and moving forward. Or even if you've broken up with someone and you're kind of taking that baggage from that relationship and pulling it into the next one, she can help you work through these particular types of issues. Anyways, I'll let you take it from here because you explain it so well, Savannah.
Thanks so much. That's exactly right. That's exactly what I do. And in my clinic here in Las Vegas, I have everyone from boyfriend and girlfriend relationships right through to couples that have been married for 20-plus years. And what the common thread is that infidelity, whether it be emotional infidelity or sexual affairs, it really rips people apart. And people don't have a rule book when they go into relationships. They don't know, they haven't set the rules on what's right and what's wrong. And so when people being people, as they go through the relationship and may think it's okay to log on to Facebook and send a message to an ex of 20 years ago, to connecting with somebody at work because the relationship fades over a long period of time, they find themselves in a situation that's not pleasing to their partner, and hence end up in my office learning how to deal with the new emotional state that they're finding themselves in.
Exactly.
Wow, how so valuable, such wonderful and valuable work. And that's really why I've created a show like this, because more people need to hear about the work that each and every one of you are doing. And it sounds like you're all getting together and working together to make even a bigger splash out there in the public to draw even more attention to the good work that you're all doing. And I applaud you for that, because word must get out.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And that's why it was such a blessing to meet Joe. And we both have a different perspective. Well, not different perspective. We've got the same perspective, but just a different way of treating it. But the main thing is that if we can get couples to find commonality and stick together, that is our goal. Unless we can really see that people are just on different tangents now in life, and then we've got to basically repair them so they can go back out into the world and find healthy relationships rather than, I hate the word baggage, but that's actually when you take baggage into the next relationship.
So, right. Victoria, I'd like to bring it back to you, because I told you the time would fly. It's not that we have a minute or two left, but we only have about 7 minutes left. And I would like people listening to the show to know more about Cupid dates. And when you and I got together, we talked, and I was so amazed by some of the creativity that you put into the dates. Could you just create an evening? What are, not typical, because everything is so, you could come up with just about anything, but would you create an evening for us so people listening at home could say, wow, isn't that something?
Sure, definitely. Our packages, they range from $500 to $10,000. And for $500, it can be as simple as enjoying a round-trip limo ride to one of our fine dining establishments, or it can be as elaborate as one of our once-in-a-lifetime all-inclusive packages that will include luxury transportation. It could be exclusive access to a private villa, luxury accommodations, a private chef that's there designing the menu for them. That's just general light of looking at it. But for instance, one of our tours is called A Little Slice of Heaven. And basically, you would be picked up in a stretch Hummer limousine, taken to the airport where you're dropped off, and then brought up in a Bell Jet helicopter. You're going to go 700 feet up into the air over the Florida coastline. You definitely want to take out your cameras for this because the views are spectacular. You'll be doing an entire tour of Miami as you go all the way down to the Keys, where you're shipping on champagne the entire time. And when you land in Marathon, you'd be then picked up by a sleek Cadillac Escalade. From there, you'd be taken to, if you have ever heard, in fact, I'm not going to mention the hotel itself because I do ask everyone to please go to our Facebook page, look at this tour in and of itself so you can see what I'm describing here. But basically in 12 minutes and after one private ferry ride, you're going to end up on a tropical private island in the Keys where dockside you're going to be personally greeted and brought to your seaside dinner table at sunset, which is 6 acres of tropical oasis, little baby key deer that walk up right to your table so you feel like just the two of you are on an island by yourself. Of course, a 4-course with wine pairing meal will be prepared to your liking, and you can, from there, walk around on the oasis. You can sit by the fire pit, have some after-dinner drink. You can even stay in the bungalow there by request. You arrange that with us, or you can just get back the same way that you came. So another incredible ride in a helicopter back to Miami and into your limousine and back home. And this can all be done in 4 hours. And you feel like you've left Miami, Florida, and been brought to a beautiful tropical island just for the two of you.
Wow. And Joe, I'd like people to know how to get in touch with you, and then tell us what would the role be, a coach or a consultant in the Cupid dating?
Well, the best way to contact me, I have a couple. They can visit my website. They can contact me through Cupid Date. I have a contact information on there through my website at www.joewickham.therapy.com. They can get some information there. Or call me directly at 310-560-0726. And one of the things, to kind of go back to your question about how do we work with couples, and I think it's going back to really understanding their attachments, their attachment needs, their love maps. How can they re-engage each other in relationships? And so we can do either Skype counseling, or we can do by phone, or if they're here in Los Angeles or Pasadena, I can see them in my office here as well. And we do different marriage intensives. We go to do workshops all over the country so we can go directly to them, do something in the home. So there's various things, but we want to help them because they are seeking a way of reconnecting, creating intimate conversations, side-by-side, face-to-face relationships. And part of Cupid Counsel is to really bring that relationship back to life, whether the dating or marriage that's been growing apart. Because a lot of times left to their own devices, the spouse will begin to develop these separate lifestyles and ultimately slip into this incompatibility and even possibly divorce. And so we want to avoid that and get couples reconnected through the way I work is through emotions and through these different various treatment modalities. So we want to engage couples and give them hope that they can have the kind of marriage and relationship that they had in the beginning. Really, it's just upgrading a lot of that from a 1.0 relationship system to 7.0 so that they're back on track.
Great. Savannah, I just have just less than a minute. If you could just let us know how we can get in touch with you, and then, Victoria, I'll let you close it up with 1 minute left.
Okay.
Wonderful. Well, I'm going to put my details over with Victoria as well. But my website is www.infidelitycoach.net. And I love the date that you're proposing, Victoria. That sounds absolutely amazing. And where I could help people, it's really important, even when dating, if you really are interested in that other person and you want to move forward, to really get an infidelity statement in place. What does infidelity look like? I mean, that's big words for the start of a relationship, but it's where people fall over towards the end, whenever that end is.
Victoria, wrap it up in a couple of seconds. I'm sorry, time flies so fast.
Okay, well, please go to our Facebook page, our website, cupiddates.net. Give us a ring, and we will design your custom date for you.
Thank you all for being on the show. I really appreciate it. You're listening to the Luvcoach Show. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio Channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.